This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
Hello from Seoul? What? You have no appetite because it's too hot and humid? Don't worry about it. Once you slurp these legendary cold noodles, your appetite will come back home.
Today, we're gonna be making naengmyeon, one of the most popular Korean dishes for hot summer days. But we're not gonna make it in a very traditional way. What? You want that super traditional recipe? Then you gotta stand over a hot stove for at least 5 hours or overnight during these hot summer days. Even if you're in winter, the gas bill could cost you more. So I think it would be a better idea to go to a Korean restaurant. What? You saw somebody making this dish at home? Well, you probably saw somebody pour this store-bought naengmyeon broth over the noodles. Here, some of you might say, Aaron, I want to make this at home, but I can't get this store-bought broth. Don't worry about it. I'm here for you guys. Today, without this, let me show you how to make delicious naengmyeon at home. For this, you will need some cucumber, Korean radish, onion, green onion, hard-boiled egg, naengmyeon noodles, and thinly sliced beef. Traditionally, we use thinly sliced beef brisket for our meat topping. But to do that, we need to boil a big chunk of beef brisket for several hours. But like I said earlier, standing over a hot stove, especially during hot weather, can be torture, right? So let's use something that quickly gives us a nice beefy flavor, which is pre-sliced beef for hot pot. Don't worry about it, still gonna be fantastic. Alright, let's start off with our toppings. First, cucumber. I'm gonna be using half of it. Just cut it in half, lengthwise, and thinly slice it on an angle. We're gonna pickle this cucumber, but if that sounds like too much work for you, or you really wanna make this in 15 minutes, you can just julienne this and put it on the noodles. No problem at all. And then cut the same amount of Korean radish into thin rectangles. What? You can't get this Korean radish? That's okay. You can just skip it. As long as we have pickled cucumber, still gonna be good. Now we're gonna make a simple pickling liquid for our vegetables. In a small container, combine 1 cup of white vinegar, 4 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and give that a good mix until the sugar is dissolved. After that, pour this over the cucumber and radish and give them a little toss. And then put them in the fridge for about 30 minutes. That's it. So simple, right? Alright, let's move on to the broth. Actually, we don't need a lot of stuff for the broth. We only need this dashida for cold noodle soup. But I'm pretty sure many of you say, Aaron, I don't think I can get that stuff. What should I do? I knew you were gonna say that. So I'm just gonna use this normal Korean beef stock powder that we use every day. Sounds like a perfect plan, right? Put 5 cups of water into a pot. And then to that, add 30 grams of onion, 40 grams of sliced radish, 15 grams of green onion, and bring it to a boil. Honestly, this step is not necessary because of the beef stock powder. But if there are no veggies at all, it's almost embarrassing to call it a broth. And there's probably someone who doesn't like it. That's why I'm doing this. So if you wanna skip it, don't worry about it. You can absolutely do that. When it comes to a boil, add 100 grams of thinly sliced beef and cook for about 1 minute. Once it's no longer pink, take them out and let them cool completely. These are just a few slices of beef, but they will add a nice beefy flavor that you're looking for. Now to the broth, add 1.5 tablespoons of dashida, Korean beef stock powder, half a tablespoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, a quarter teaspoon of salt, and bring it to a boil over medium-low heat. After 10 minutes, discard the vegetables and let it cool completely at room temperature. Once it's cool, you can put it in the freezer and make it cold. Here, just because you want to do it faster, if you put it in the freezer when it's hot, they can make other foods go bad. I told you already, so if that happens, I'm not responsible. For information, if you want to have it like icy cold, slushy broth that can almost give you a brain freeze, freeze it in a Ziploc bag and smack it with the back of your knife. Restaurants use a different way, but this is the best way to try at home. This time, let's prepare our noodles. Fill your pot with enough water and bring it to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, add your noodles and cook according to the package instructions. FYI, these naengmyeon noodles tend to stick to each other, so make sure there's enough water in it. And normally, naengmyeon noodles are already cooked, so it's not gonna take any time at all to cook. So you might need to cook it less than 1 minute or just until the noodles have separated. If you overcook them, you will end up with some kind of porridge, not chewy noodles. Alright, once they are cooked, give them a good rinse under cold water. And then get in there with your hands and wash them a few times until the water runs clear. Here, the noodles can still be hot. You can hear my scream, but yes, my hands are burning right now. So please be careful. Once that's done, drain and place them in a serving bowl. And then top it off with our drained radish, cucumber, beef, and hard-boiled egg. Now let's bring our broth, who's having a great vacation, in the fridge. Here, if you take a look, there might be some fat floating on top. To get a clean broth at the end, we need to skim that off or put it through a fine sieve. I know I always say fat adds so much flavor, but naengmyeon broth should be clean and light, so strongly recommend you strain the broth. Once that's done, add 1 tablespoon of white vinegar and give it a good stir, and carefully pour it in, making sure our beautiful tower doesn't fall down. Otherwise, you can't get the beautiful presentation like restaurants. Last but not least, let's sprinkle with some toasted sesame seeds. That's it! It's unbelievably simple, right? But I'm pretty sure this simple recipe will give you the best result, just like Squarespace helps you create the best website that you dreamed of. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform that helps build a website, blog, or online store for you. Even if you have zero technical skills, thanks to Squarespace Fluid Engine, you can build an amazing website that actually converts customers. Instead of any complicated stuff, there's a grid inside where you can adjust spacing and sizing. So all you need to do is just simply customize every design detail with drag and drop. And you can even independently edit the desktop and mobile versions. Trust me, in my experience, optimizing your website both desktop and mobile is very important. Squarespace is not just a website builder, but it also has lots of tools to help you run many types of businesses, like e-commerce tools to manage your online store, member areas to sell your own course, and scheduling tools where clients can book appointments with you. Plus, they also have SEO tools so that your site can be found in search by more people more often. If you want to try for yourself, build your site for free. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/AaronandClaire to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. You want to experience the easiest and the best way to create your dream website? Squarespace will be with you. Thank you for sponsoring this video, Squarespace. Alright, finally, it's time to taste. Let's go to our taste tester.
Claire?
Wow, I've never imagined making naengmyeon at home. Even my mom never made it from scratch. Let's give it a try. 아주 정갈하니 그럴듯한데? 예쁘게 잘 담았다. 냉면의 생명은 국물이니까 국물 먼저. Let's try the broth first. 오, 색깔도 그럴듯해요. Cheers! 맛있는데? 냉면 맛 맞네? 이것 봐라. 어머, 상상이 이상이다. 괜찮다. 소고기 향도 강하게 나고 그 새콤새콤한 냉면의 느낌이 나네. 맛있는데? 아, 시원해서 너무 좋다. 들이키고 싶어. 이제 본격적으로 한번 먹어볼까? Let's add some vinegar and hot mustard. 그리고 좀 자극적인 냉면 스타일로 변신. 이제 얘를 국물에 잘 녹이면서 아, 이거지. 이거지. 아무튼 먹어봅시다. 자, 이렇게 얘네를 꼭 같이 넣어서 먹어줘야지. Cheers! 바로 연이어서 국물도. 이 맛이네. 너무 시원하고 너무 맛있다. 너무 개운해. 뭔가 그 더웠던 거를 싹 식혀주는 그런 느낌이야. 와, 맛있다. 내가 항상 계란이 어떤 것들의 beauty of everything이라고 말하잖아. 근데 여기서는 이 절여진 야채들이 이게 진짜 beauty of 냉면인 것 같아. 너무 맛있다. 엄청 아삭아삭거리고 새콤하면서 달콤하고 정말 맛있어. 아삭아삭거리면서. 와. 이게 냉면집마다 스타일이 약간 좀 다르잖아. 어떤 곳은 이렇게 아삭아삭하지 않고 약간 쫀득쫀득 거리는 그런 느낌이 있는 곳도 있는데 난 이런 게 훨씬 더 개운하고 좋은 것 같아. 너무 괜찮다. 이 느낌, 이 소리. 더 넣어서 먹어도 될 것 같아. 연겨자 눈곱도 엄청 맵지 않고 은은하게 뒤에 끝맛이 조금 매콤한 킥을 주면서 맛있어. 너무 괜찮은데? 이 정도로 잘 나올 거라고 생각 못했다. 완전 괜찮다. 강력 추천. If you go to a Korean grocery store, you may find the naengmyeon package, and it comes with the noodles and the sauce. But obviously, that's not as tasty as the restaurant, and that's not as cheap as other instant noodles. So I'm not happy with both price and the taste. But if you follow this recipe, I'm sure you can catch two birds with one stone. I've never been to the desert, but if you try this noodle dish, you feel like drinking cold water in the middle of the desert. It's that good and refreshing. So I hope you give this a try. Enjoy! Highly recommend it! 그나저나 비빔냉면은 언제? 다음 주?
Today, I showed you how to make a super simple naengmyeon, Korean cold noodle soup. How was it? It's unbelievably simple and easy, right? But just because something is simple and easy, that doesn't mean it's not great. I can't guarantee it tastes much better than any regular restaurant or the naengmyeon package. So grab your apron and give this a try. As always, you'll be so surprised. Alright, this is it for today, and I'll see you next time.